One of the most valuable skills you can learn to cultivate in life is the ability to see things from other people's perspective. Right? There's many different avenues where this can work, and obviously relationships is one for obvious reasons. But even something like business, right? You need to be able to look at things from the customer's perspective. Yes, you're the business owner. You've put in a lot of work. You're looking for reasons why your product is good, but the customer is looking for reasons to disqualify your product. Right? There are many different products being thrown at their face, and they need to look for. They're just looking at like, okay, I don't like this one because of this, I don't like this one because of this, I don't like this one because of this. And after that, they just left with like maybe one or two products, and then they pick between those. But they don't really care about like how much work you've put into it. You need to be able to look at it from their experience. They're seeing so many and they're picking from many different ones. So they're just looking for the one that they haven't disqualified for whatever reason, right? And this works again with like relationships and like looking for, this is how like women look at like guys. Again, you're looking at yourself and you're like, I'm in like pretty decent shape, you know, I've grown up from like the last 6 months, I look good because of this. But think about it from her perspective, right? She's got like all these like different guys she's looking at. Why should she pick you, right? Same thing happens like when you're making content, right? I'm making my content, I feel like I know what I'm talking about. I feel like my videos are good. Well, actually I don't, but you know, I can come up with reasons why you should watch my videos, right? But from the customer's perspective, they've got millions of channels to pick from. Why should they watch my video, right? And having that level of self-awareness will do wonders for you in all avenues of life, right? So where am I going with this, right? And how does this relate to self-improvement, right? So one thing I noticed a couple weeks ago is that, you know, I look at someone like my little brother who's like 13. I look at like other guys who are like, they're 16. Like I have a cousin who's 16, right? And I look at them and I'm like, I'm so excited for them, right? I'm like, you have all this time on your hands, right? You got like a little holiday, you can do all this. You know, when I was your age, I had like a 3-week holiday. I remember I wanted to become really good at football, and I bought like I bought footballs, I bought cones, I bought all of this, and I started training and getting like good and everything. And I was like, I look at them, I'm like excited for them, right? They've got all this time on their hands, they could be doing so much, right? And then I had to think back and like realize that that's probably how like people who are like 25 or 30 look at me, right? Like I'm still like 21. Yes, I'm in university and I feel like it takes up a lot of time, and it does take up a lot of time. But also from their perspective, you know, I'm 21, right? I'm single. I don't have any like real responsibilities, right? I don't have to pay like rent or anything. I kind of like live with my parents, friends, or whatever. It's long story. I have all these things, like I have all this time. I kind of have all this time on my hand. I don't have a 9-to-5 job that I have to go to every day. Yes, I have to go to campus and I come back and I do work, but I'm flexible. Like someone looking, a 25-year-old looking at me, or like a 30-year-old looking at me, they're like, dude, single, no kids, you're 21, like you've got all this energy, right? I actually have like a home gym here, so like you can work out, you can do all these things. Like they'd be getting excited. They'd be like, damn, I wish I was like in your position. And I remember I took a step back and I was like, damn, I never looked at it like that, right? And all of a sudden, like, you know, when you're in it, again, this is where the skill of self-awareness and just being able to see things from other people's perspectives just comes in so handy, right? When you're in it, like when I'm in it now, it all feels like overwhelming. I've got all this work to do. I've got all these things I need to do and whatever, right? A 25-year-old, a 30-year-old is looking at me and they're like, bro, you got all this time on your hands. You don't have to be at a job like 9-to-5. And you're still in uni. How much I'd give to be back in uni, you know, be that young with like that much energy and all of that. And all these possibilities. You have a phone, you can make content, you can do all of this. If you want to like find friends, you can go on like Discord. There's so many possibilities. Like the possibilities are endless, right? And I had this, I was like, damn, like actually someone looking at me, I'm in a pretty good position, right? And it reminded me of Jordan Peterson's rule. One of his rules where he's like, treat yourself like someone you're responsible for, right? Because it changes, just you start thinking more logically, right? You just start thinking more logically, and you take yourself out of the situation. You're able to just look at it from like a neutral point of view, right? And that gets to the point I'm trying to make in this video, which is turn yourself into like a self-improvement project, right? Because going back to a story I was telling you, I was like, dude, I look at like a 16-year-old, I'm like, bro, like if I could be like your life coach or whatever, like, dude, I just wish I was like that young again and like had all that time. Like I'd tell you like, do this, do that, and start hitting the gym, start doing all of this, start looking for like things to do online, whatever. I'm like, treat yourself like that as well, right? I'm looking at myself now, I'm like, okay, I'm a 21-year-old now. Let me look at myself like I'm 25 and I'm looking back at 21-year-old me, or even 30 years old. I'm looking at 21-year-old me. I'm like, dude, imagine all the excitement 30-year-old Gideon would have for me, and all the things he'd be telling me to do, focus on this, do that. And once you start looking at yourself like that, it makes the self-improvement journey a lot more exciting, a lot more positive, and a lot more like inspirational. And that's all I wanted to say in this video. Make sure you hit subscribe to join the Self-Improvement Brotherhood, and until next time, I'll see you boys.